Alright guys, so now that we finished creating all of our different particles for our different levels, so that they make it a little bit unique and more fun, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on our cloud sprite. Specifically, we're just going to add an effect to kind of change its color a little bit and make it a little bit more fun. So what we can do is, we can click on our yellow events tab and add when I receive green flag. Then we're going to click on control, add a forever, and then put an if then inside of that forever. We're going to go into operators and add an equal sign. Instead of the empty bubble, we're going to go into variables and add a level bubble. And the 50, we're going to change it to the level that we want to add the effect to. So for right now, I'm just going to put it as level 1, since we want to be able to see it and test it out in our first level. And then we're going to go into looks, add a change color effect by. We're going to leave it as it is right now. The last thing that we're going to do is, if you notice when you started playing your game, there is going to be a main cloud kind of hovering over. And that's only there because the main cloud is positioned based off of the last costume that we clicked. So what we're going to do is, we're going to click on our costume tab. We're going to hover over, choose a costume. And we're going to click on the brush tool to create an empty costume. We're going to leave our selection on this empty costume, and now we're not going to see any of these appear in the center anymore. So if you ever need to adjust anything or change anything from your clouds, you can always go back into the costume, change whatever you need to, but remember to always click the empty costume before heading back. And then you can click on your green flag to test out your game. So now, as the clouds start moving, we should start see different colors that we have for it. You can see for each of them. Since we are using gray, some of them might be a little bit hard to see, but you can see that some of them are turning pink and bluish and greenish. If you need to, anyone that you have that is a little bit too dark of a gray, you can always go ahead and change the color that it has. So I'm just going to use my paint bucket tool, adjust the color a little bit of the clouds that are a little bit too dark. And then again, click back into my empty costume and go back. And now you see that we have different colored clouds appearing, which makes it a little bit funner and a little bit cooler. You can also play around with the effect number. So by changing it, it also changes what types of color will appear for that level. Once I'm happy and I'm perfectly fine with what I have, what I can do is, let's say that for my next level, I actually want it to just be the regular cloud colors that I picked. I can duplicate this if, add it to the bottom. I can change the level to level 2. And then I can take away this change color and add a clear graphic effect. And then it's going to clear whatever effects we did originally, so that level 2 is going to have my original cloud colors. Let's say that now for level 3, I want to go back and change the colors. I can duplicate this again. Change this to 3. Remove this graphic effect. And then add another change color. And then play around with a different number. You guys can do this for every level. And as you go to the different levels, go ahead and start playing around with the different numbers. See what kind of variation of colors you get. Remember, you can also change the colors that the clouds have too, to adjust the colors even more. So this is going to require a lot of testing, a lot of hopping between different levels, so that you can test everything out and so you can see how it looks when it's actually there with your full level on. So once you guys are done with that, you guys are pretty much set with this section of the cloud.